brothers, look at this late hour. It's really too cold. How about we join forces and keep warm? Physician Li was quite embarrassed, and quickly hung up his own leg of lamb. After seeing this gesture, the three men's expressions improved. Seeing this, Physician Li then reached out and pulled off a piece of meat. It's really delicious. But just as Physician Li was enjoying the meat, he suddenly felt a chill around him, and the campfire turned a ghostly green. Physician Li looked up in confusion, only to see the three men with deathly expressions. Who were the woodcutters that had starved to death in the mountains not long ago? Come on. Come, let's eat together. Come on, let's eat together, let's eat together. Physician Li was hanged, until a month later, when Huzi passed through the old forest, and in the middle of the night, he saw a campfire burning ahead, with a man sitting there eating meat. Huzi thought it was Ma Sanyi, who hunts in the mountains. So he quickly called out to him, but he didn't move at all. Huzi had no choice but to go up and ask, Ma Sanyi. Ma Sanyi, we've been looking for you, there's something we need to discuss. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. Hungry. What Huzi and the others encountered was actually the ghost of Dr. Li. After he was hanged, his body was roasted and eaten by 3 starving ghosts, and the deceased Dr. Li became a new starving ghost himself. He returns every night to haunt the old forest, just waiting for someone to pass by. As long as he eats a person to fill his stomach, he can escape the path of the hungry ghosts and be reincarnated. That's why there have been deaths in the old forest recently. Too many have died. The surrounding villages have become eerie. A perfectly fine woman suddenly went mad, and she's harder to restrain than a pig during the new year. You Lan, you all must die. Don't scare me. What's the matter? Why? Whatever you do, don't let her go. She's no longer normal now. What's even more terrifying is that this madness is contagious. In less than a day, most of the people in the village went mad. They ate voraciously, as if they'd lost their minds. They would bite at any living thing they saw. Everyone said that it was the spirits of the starved dead from the mountains possessing them, coming to the world of the living in search of food. The village chief hurriedly summoned a great immortal, hoping to send the hungry ghosts away. But the more they tried to perform rituals, the stranger things became. Especially Yulon, who was the first to go mad. As soon as she saw the great immortal enter her courtyard, she immediately went into a frenzy. You all must die. All must die. I want to drink blood. Yulon became more and more malevolent. So old Liu had no choice but to lock her in the house. But come nightfall, old Liu heard a knocking at the door. In the dead of night, who could be knocking? Old Liu nervously opened the main door, but there was no one outside. A chill ran down old Liu's spine instantly. Fellow villager. This. Who are you? Take a look. Am I not a person? Old Liu, frightened, hurriedly closed the door, because this person was none other than Huzi, who got lost in the old forest. After they were hung up that night, old Liu took advantage of the chaos to escape, leaving Huzi on the mountain to await death. From then on, he was neither seen alive nor found dead. It was said that his soul was consumed by Dr. Li, and he became a wild ghost in the mountains. But who knew he was so eager to return home, that he actually found his way back to the village. What's even more eerie is, he brought back a large group of weasel spirits. 1 or 2 is not scary, but what's terrifying is suddenly having over 100. However, what's even more horrifying is these weasel spirits also transformed into all sorts of men, sneaking into houses to bully the young women. The first to suffer was none other than old Liu's daughter. You beast. Am I a beast? Am I not a person? I'm not just a person. I'm also your son-in-law, my father-in-law. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Changxiang, whose spirit had been drained, quickly disappeared without a trace. Everyone said that she was taken into the old forest. The yellow weasel spirit drains energy. The starving ghost consumes souls. These 2 evil spirits often collaborate to harm people, and the legend of the starving ghost is well known in this area. It is said that 3 lumberjacks went up the mountain to cut wood, but were trapped by a heavy snowfall, and starved to death on the mountain. Not until the snow melted in spring were their bodies found. Since then, the old forest has been frequently haunted. Now that Changxiang has disappeared, old Liu is extremely anxious. He fears that his daughter has been devoured by the starving ghost. So he quickly called upon some brave souls, and they entered the old forest at night to search for her. That night, someone heard a burst of crying. Erkui thought it was Changxiang, and hurried over, but upon closer inspection, it turned out to be an older young woman. Hey, little sister. Are you human or a ghost? Look at what you're saying. Of course, I'm human. Then why are you alone in the middle of the night, doing in this forest? I came up the mountain to visit my man's grave. coming to the grave in the dead of night. Kuei immediately felt a chill on the top of his head, but the woman suddenly cried out, saying she twisted her ankle, and wanted Kuei to help massage it. Seeing the woman's soft and frail appearance, Kuei couldn't help but walk over. I haven't even applied much strength yet. Big brother, I have nothing. Only this body left. Look at what's become of me. Kuei excitedly pounced on her, but the woman spat out a snake's tongue, and sucked away Kuei's life force. Afterwards, she reverted back to her youthful self, and transformed into a beautiful snake spirit. It is said that this snake spirit is formed by absorbing the spiritual essence of heaven and earth, wandering through the Changbai Mountains, protecting all the living creatures here. Yet, there are villagers who have trespassed into the restricted area, venturing deep into the heart of Changbai Mountain, to stealthily dig up the 1,000-year-old ginseng here. As a result, they were swallowed by the serpent mother. The serpent mother, having consumed humans, became increasingly youthful and beautiful. So, she cast her charms in the forest, trapping everyone who entered the old woods. Then, she created an illusion of an old house, forcing them to seek shelter there. Is anyone there? Hey, big sister, can we borrow a place to rest our feet? Let's go. Only after the two entered did they realize that this woman lived alone. She was very hospitable. Soon, she brought over a bowl of meat soup to warm them up. The two, who had been cold all night, found it delicious. Little did they know that this meat was actually stewed by the woman using her deceased husband. As the saying goes, eat human flesh, become a human husband. After the two had their fill, the woman lured them into the house, wanting to get down to business. But just at that moment, gunshots suddenly rang out. The beautiful woman turned into a giant snake. This giant snake was in fact the serpent mother of Mount Changbai. Anyone who broke the rules and trespassed into forbidden areas, the serpent mother would drain their life force to maintain her own beauty, and to punish the villagers. She also released the yellow weasel spirits and starving ghosts down the mountain. Evil spirits arose instantly throughout the village. Many women went mad without explanation, and by nightfall, the yellow weasel spirits appeared in swarms, sucking the spiritual energy from young maidens everywhere. Seeing the gravity of the situation, the village chief hurriedly asked Master Marsan to come down from the mountain. This time, the calamity of evil in the village, could it be related to that beast from your past? The beast mentioned by the village chief is indeed the serpent mother. Although the serpent mother guards Mount Changbai, she is after all a snake demon, later enlightened by immortals. I had no choice but to continue my cultivation here. Over the years, the snake mother's nature has been unpredictable, both righteous and evil. When her evil side emerges, she even devours humans. Therefore, the villagers are very afraid, but Master Marsan is not afraid. He doesn't hunt males in spring, nor females in autumn, doesn't hunt the young, and doesn't hunt those close to extinction. He cherishes the creatures in the old forest. Thus, the snake mother doesn't trouble him. Moreover, more than 20 years ago, the snake mother suddenly entered the village, and coiled herself on the roof of Master Marsan's house. At that time, Master Marsan's wife had just given birth to a son. The villagers all said that this was a child bestowed by the snake mother. Master Marsan strictly adhered to the rules of the old forest. So this son must have been a reward from the snake mother, but who knew that when the child reached the age of 5, he suddenly went into the mountains alone, and never returned. Master Marsan knew that the snake mother had taken the child back. So Master Marsan went into the mountains alone, wanting to find his son, but he searched for 20 years, without a trace of news about his son. Now Changxiang has also disappeared. It seems the serpent mother's evil nature has struck again. Master Marsan decided to venture into the fountain of eternal life. Over the years, he searched all over Changbai Mountain, but he never went to the fountain of eternal life, because since his ancestors, this place has been a forbidden zone. The serpent mother's lair is very likely there, but who knew that as soon as they entered the territory, they smelled a strange fragrance. Then the surroundings darkened, accompanied by bursts of cold wind. Everyone was so scared they quickly raised their guns. In the darkness, something was moving about, trafficking sons and selling daughters. Trafficking sons and selling daughters. Heaven will not tolerate this. It's karmic retribution. Death is too good for them. I died such an unjust death. Alright. That's the story for today. Due to copyright issues, interested babies are advised to watch the newly released movie The Legend of the Changbai Mountain Hunter. I am Xiaoban. See you next time.